When we stay in our own emotional center and we use this to benefit others rather than to respond to others, our life changes for the better. We suddenly step into our empowerment. We are taking ownership of who we are today in this world. And it's something that you should enjoy. When you just choose to stay in your own emotional center and be unbothered by what's going on around you, you will find freedom to a whole new capacity. Happiness, joy, laughter, radiance, excitement. These are all emotions you want to carry with you every single day. Before you watch this video, I want to give you a nice little conclusion of what this video is actually about. Your relatability to someone and your similarity to someone does not make you the same. Therefore, your actions and reactions are not going to be the same. So it serves you to stay in your emotional center, and it serves you to be unresponsive to other emotions so you can stay in your own empowerment. All right, yes, let's get into it. I aced that. That took me forever. Let's get into the video, dissect this a little bit, and have a look at an example. Yeah. Hello! Okay, guys, video today is going to be about how we are all different. Every single one of us in this wide, grand, beautiful universe is different. So why are we clinging onto each other so much emotionally? Over the last few days, I've observed in my life how our emotional responses to people's actions are not benefiting us in any way, shape, or form. Me personally, and I know this is not going to be useful for a lot of people, I am just so much happier, just so much more steady and focused when I am just not bothered by other people's emotional reactions. Okay? So, for example, I could use a work example, but I'm not going to go there. We make friends with people, right? We formulate connections as humans. We relate to one another. Now, that is the key there. Relatableness. That's what gets us. We look at people and we're like, oh, we have similar qualities, therefore we must be similar to a certain extent. And then relatabilityness causes similarity observations, which then causes you to trust that person. Now, when you trust someone, you automatically put a certain level of reliance on that person, right? On some level, you're saying, hey, this person has a level of truth and I'm going to believe it. So now let's go into a scenario. Basically, you're with someone, happy, ha ha ha. Now, they start acting in a certain way that suddenly ignites an emotional response out of you. Now, I'm talking about a negative emotional response. Let's use frustration. They're doing something with their actions and it's causing you to be frustrated. That's the first roadblock there, is that we've suddenly become emotionally responsive to their actions. Rather than staying centered in, that's not an action I agree with, but I'm not going to let it bother my emotions. I'm going to use me as an example. I've chosen to go down the path of frustration. Now, the second I've become frustrated with that person's actions, I've ignited a negative connection. I've created tension. Our energetic cord between each other has suddenly got like it's got steam to it. It's got like an aggression to it. It's like, you're making me feel this way. And then suddenly this person naturally feels the same way as well because the cord exchanges energy. And suddenly you're in an emotional turmoil with each other. And everybody reacts differently with their emotions. Just because you're feeling frustrated doesn't mean the other person's going to feel frustrated. They could be presenting this in a different type of way. People present emotions differently. Some people block them out. Some people express them loudly. People just process them completely differently. But the thing is, suddenly, in my emotional response that was negative, has created tension in the cord. Now, that experience completely threw me out of center because I put my emotional reliance on that person. Why? Why am I letting other people make me feel certain ways? We should honestly love ourselves and just feel so comfortable in our own skin that what other people do, no matter how close they are, their actions do not affect our emotions. Your emotions are yours, my emotions are mine, and how I choose to express and feel and choose what emotions I'm living, that's up to me. And it shouldn't be up to any other person or any other experience, because that's your center and you're the center of your world. You're the main character. Our own emotional strength and our own emotional center is like so valuable. And that really is basically the egg to you cracking open your own world. When you just choose to stay in your own emotional center and be unbothered by what's going on around you, you will find freedom to a whole new capacity, because suddenly you're realizing a lot of the things people want you to get emotionally caught up in, they don't actually physically engage or bother you. They don't. You're just allowing them to. Exactly like a ship. It only sinks when it has holes in it. A ship doesn't sink if it just doesn't let the water in. Yeah. But I find it so valuable, and I'm sure everybody else does too, when we stay in our own emotional center and we use this to benefit others rather than to respond to others, our life changes for the better. We suddenly step into our empowerment. We are taking ownership of who we are today in this world. We are standing in our own 2 feet and we're saying, actually, no, I'm not swaying with that. I'm staying to my center. So your emotional strength and your emotional center is very, very important and very special to you. And it's something that you should enjoy. Your emotions are a gift for you to experience your world. Happiness, joy, laughter, radiance, excitement. These are all emotions you want to carry with you every single day. That's your center point. That's your living point. That's where you come alive. Taking ownership of your own emotions and not being swayed by the forest, by the wind. Be strong. Oh yes. Second conclusion here is that when we choose to stay in our emotional center, in our vibrational center, we are manifesting creators like there's no tomorrow. We suddenly draw everything to us because we are staying in our center. Okay, you're actually vibrating at a much higher rate and you're creating your reality at a much faster pace as well, when you're just staying true to your center and not being bothered by other vibrational realities out there. Because bringing it back to the whole fact that no one is like you. No one, not a single soul out there. Every single person has different experiences. Every single person has different views. No, not one single soul out there has honestly experienced every single millisecond of your life just the way that you have. So we are different. And it doesn't serve our own frequency and our own unique vibration to be bothered by other frequencies. That's not your job. You're not here to be bothered by other frequencies. You're here to be your frequency. You're here to stand in your center so you can influence people around you from that center. So rather than responding to frequencies, hold your own frequency. And that's where your true connection and your true radiance and your true creative abilities are going to spark. When you're actually being you. In conclusion, your relatability to a person doesn't mean they are like you. And it most certainly doesn't mean you should be giving your power away to that person. Relatability isn't everything.